Please, tell them that I am God.
Greetings. Welcome to episode 50. This is container 17. This will be part 3. I should be able to finish up this container in this video. So we are 50 videos in, and we are roughly halfway through my collection. So I think there's 34 containers total, and the containers I've been going through since the first video till now have been moderately sized. There are other future containers that are twice the size. So they are much deeper, about the same length, but much deeper. So it's almost like two of these containers stacked on top of each other. So there's a lot of Sega Game Gear stuff yet to come. So let's see what this container, 17, part 3, has to offer us. We have Game Genie for the Game Gear. Unlock the power of your favorite video games. Has a price tag from Kmart for $34.99. Made by Galoob. And on the back of the box it says it was invented by Codemasters, which I did not know. I was unaware that Codemasters invented this. Codemasters, I like their games, so I appreciate this even more now, knowing that they invented it. Bubble wrap. Gear-to-gear cable. Box looks probably we had a price tag on there that someone ripped off. But this enabled you to play certain games with other people who had Game Gears as long as they had the same game. So I think Mortal Kombat was one game that if you and a friend both had a copy, you could connect the Game Gears and play against each other, which was a pretty cool feature. Let's see what else we have. We have the TV Tuner Pack, PAL 1, for the Sega Game Gear. Now obsolete, but this box is in super good condition, which is pretty cool. Sega Enterprises Limited, made in Japan, ages 5 and up. I think this is one of the most cool accessories ever made for a handheld system. That you could turn your handheld video game system into a working TV. That's pretty damn cool. And if we have the European version, we might as well have the Japanese version. TV Auto Tuner. There's no taglines or sales pitches that I can read to you off the back of this box because it's all in Japanese. But that's the TV tuner from our pals in Japan for Japan Systems. And I am uncertain if this would work on a US system. I'm not sure. But it's dated 1994. That's quite a few years ago, my friends. A bubble envelope with packing peanuts. This is the Japanese versus cable, or gear-to-gear cable. I'll show it like that. So we have another accessory from Japan. Needed for the collection in the box. We'll stick with the theme of accessories. Here's more packing peanuts. I don't know why those are in there. This is the power battery. from Japan that you hook it onto the back of your Game Gear and you charge it up so that you could not have to rely solely on batteries. But the power battery, I don't even know if this would still work today. I'm not sure. I like over here the fancy Game Gear lettering. I'm not sure if that would charge up and hold a charge or not. I really don't know if those go bad or if they stay working. Let's see what we got. We have the car adapter for the Game Gear from Japan. So you could plug it into your cigarette lighter and then plug your Game Gear into that. And you can play with straight DC power, not relying solely on batteries. A little transformer in there to knock down from AC to DC. But car adapter 2. I'm not sure if there's a car adapter 1. I'm not sure. If it exists, hopefully I'll find it in one of these containers. We have the Master Gear Converter. Play Master System cartridges on the Game Gear. Badass. So if you had a collection of Sega Master System games, you could play them through your Game Gear, which is sort of like a mini SMS. Or if there were certain games that you really loved on the Sega Master System, you could buy them and then just hook this up and play them through your Game Gear, which is pretty fucking cool. Although it says not all Master System games are compatible for use on Game Gear, text and some other small characters in a game could appear too small to distinguish. And this is from 1991. So we have a Mega Drive and Game Gear strategy guide for Puyo Puyo. Printed in Japan. Comes with a little disc too. I don't know if that includes music from the games or what, but I've never taken it out to put it into my old laptop that still had a CD drive to see what actually was on the disc. But it has it in there complete. We have the Eliminator by Nakai International for Game Gear. I've showed you guys these before. This is not my first one of these. But the fluid is still good in there. So you can clean your cartridges and then clean the inside of the Game Gear if your games start to glitch or if they're just dusty. So we have that accessory. We have a US game. Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. And it says puzzle game. Evil Dr. Robotnik has invented a machine that turns good folks into rotten robots. In Mobius, the famous home of Sonic the Hedgehog, village bean folk are being rounded up and thrown into the doctor's dungeons, there to await their turn in the steamer. A challenging puzzle game. Pick up 4 bean folk from the same color clan so they can stick together and escape. Almost looks like columns. Never played this game, but it has one or 2 players. And I don't think the Sega or Sonic the Hedgehog movies have made prices on Sonic games go up at all. I think it just opened a new avenue for new merchandise related to Sonic the Hedgehog. It didn't have an impact on vintage games. Kind of like the Book of Boba Fett. Suddenly everybody wanted Boba Fett, the original Boba Fett figure. And the prices of that shot up, even for ones that are in not the best condition. But it's the hype train, and people got on it. Not me. And not with Sonic the Hedgehog. We have some Japanese games. We have Alien Syndrome. For the Japanese system. Never played this one. I guess I say that about a lot of the games, but Sega, 1987. Reprogrammed by Sims, 1992. Thank you, Sims. We have Ninku. Here we go. Ninku. I don't know if there's more to the title than this, but if there is more to the title, obviously it'll be on the screen right now, so you have the full complete. But I don't recall if it's a longer title or if it's just this. Not uncertain I am. Let's see, we taped this one up. We have two more Japanese games. We have Sonic Labyrinth for the Japanese system. I'm not sure if I've shown that one before or not. The Sonic Labyrinth European release in really good condition is a little rare. The US version goes for a fair amount, not bad, but goes for a fair amount. For those sellers who are actually pricing the games reasonably, I should say. We have Dunk Kids. Obviously a basketball game from our pals in Japan. I might have shown you this one before, but just not this exact copy. Take that off. Okay. We have a US game that I put in a bubble envelope and taped shut. And that game is Star Trek Generations Beyond the Nexus. Journey into the Final Frontier. One of these Star Trek games, I swear, came with a poster. I'm not sure if it's this one or the other Star Trek game. I think there's only two. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll own it. Yeah, good condition. We have a bubble envelope filled with 4 more Japanese games. The first one being Wonder Boy. One player, made in Japan. Looks like a side-scroller. Don't know if it's a RPG or not. Just looks like a side-scroller. Kind of cartoonish. We have Stargate. I've been keeping track on my computer of how many copies of each game of each Japanese game that I have, European game, US release. And as I enter them into the computer, obviously it goes up one game at a time. I think I've shown Stargate, but from memory I don't recall if I did or not. But now I do, so now there's one. Riddick Boxing. Pretty sure that I've had this one up before. I think I ended up with a few copies of this in my years of collecting. Don't know if it's better than Foreman for Real or Evander Holyfield's Boxing. I don't know which of the boxing games is the best. But it's a boxing game if you like to box. Castle of Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse. From the screenshots on the back, it looks like a side-scroller, so maybe a little adventure game. Can't be too graphic, it's Disney, so it's probably very mild in the content. We have another bubble envelope filled with 4 more Japanese games. In this set, the first one is Psychic World. I don't recall seeing this one in the past, but I could be wrong. So this might be the first time that you're seeing it. I'll know once I get on my computer, go to enter it. I'll be like, oh, I've already shown this 4 other times. I had 4 copies, and I don't remember. But with this one, I truly don't remember if it's first time showing it to you or if I have in the past already. We have Joe Montana Football, 1991. There are several football games, the John Madden series, Sports Illustrated Championship Football is another one that comes to mind. But this is Joe Montana. The King. This is part 2 of something, and the name doesn't come to mind. So we'll rely on editing to put the title of the game underneath this box that I'm holding so that it is accurate and complete. Part 2 of something, so the first part must have sold well. Pengo. This is a very pink box. Sega, 1990. I know I had this for the European system. Don't know if I've shown it yet for the Japanese version, but regardless, here it is. Pengo. Moving ice blocks around. Okay, we have the last 4-pack of Japanese games. We have 2, and then 4. We have Fantasy Zone Gear, the regular version. There it is. This also comes as a Maisaku, where it has along the right in the corner, over here, has the sticker printed right on the box. I think in the video prior to this one, or part 1 of Container 17, I showed you that version, Fantasy Zone, with the Maisaku on the box. I remember it just came to mind when I was thinking about editing, and I remember like looking for that picture to put up with what I was showing on screen. This is Kuni-chan, I believe. Kunichan. And this is part 1. They made 2 versions of this. Or two different ones. Part 1, part 2. And it looks like there's an assortment of games contained on this game cartridge. I see tennis. I see a game that looks like columns. One looks like a math game of some sort. We have putt and putter. These are all in really good shape, too. I wonder if this is from the game that I bought from that guy who was the American guy living in Japan at the time. I wonder if these are all from him still. I don't know. I've been collecting for so long and have acquired so many things, it'd be impossible to remember where each thing came from. Even a grouping of things, where they came from. House of Tarot. This has an RPG vibe based on the screenshots. But I could find out for sure what it's classified as. I have a hard time with role-playing games. I find them quite slow and tedious. So while this might be a great game, if it is an RPG and if it was in English, I probably still wouldn't play it. Sorry. I leave the RPG games for other people to enjoy on my behalf. But it's a Game Gear game, so I had to have it. No questions about that. No mystery. I have tape on my hand. We have the car adapter for Game Gear. So I showed you the Japanese version. This is the US version, where you plug it into your cigarette lighter and you play like a champion. The car adapter, which would have saved you on batteries and made long road trips tolerable. So I can't imagine anything worse, at least in regard to Sega Game Gear, but having a bunch of games that you love to play in a system that worked, the capacitors had not gone bad yet, and getting in the car for a long trip and getting into it, and then your batteries die, and you have all this fun potential just lost. But if you have the car adapter, plug that bitch in, you don't got to worry about batteries, and you can play the whole trip. That I would have enjoyed if I had had the Game Gear when I was younger, because we used to take family trips, and I would have enjoyed having a Game Gear with a few favorite games and the car adapter, so I could just play until my eyes fell out. So we have the US version. How about the UK version of the car adapter? With the silver, gray, and black striped checkered background, making it an official European release. I wonder what other designs got tossed out before they settled on this for the European release games. I wonder how many other designs they had. Oh my god, this is heavy. Which means it can only be one thing. And I don't know if this is official or not. It's a car adapter, AC. Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. It's an AC adapter that obviously changes AC to DC, because you're not going to run AC through a device, handheld device. It's got Sega on it. But it's the AC adapter. But I don't recall there being a black and white box with, that's it, just black and white and a little bit of gray text on the end. I doubt you can see that, but it has all the different Sega systems listed, and then it has Game Gear highlighted so that there's no confusion about what you should be plugging it into. And then the last item in this container is a bootleg game, loose, and that would be Street Fighter 2. It's a nice way to end a container with a bootleg. A game that was never meant to be, but someone took the time to program it, put it all together, make a sticker, put it together, and sell it. And somehow it ended up in my collection. So that is episode 50 in conclusion. That was container 17, part 3. Episode 51 will be container 18, part 1. That'll be in 1 week. So I hope you are all feeling well. Hope no one is sick or suffering. And I will see you back in 1 week. So be well.
You think you can take my title from me? I'm the champ.